Там от болота. И оно вот так вот стекает.
Russian troops have complained of poor supplies, out-of-pocket expenses, and deadly delivery missions in an intercepted call released by Ukraine's military intelligence, HUR. In the recording, a Russian serviceman described the lack of basic provisions. Gas canisters are not issued. What we get is canned meat, grains, and cigarettes, and that's it. Nothing else. The rest we have to buy with our own money or people send it from home. One could be heard saying. The soldier added that troops often rely on improvised crowdfunding to cover small needs. Yes, there's some minimal thing. People chip in money, buy the same lighters, because nothing else is given out, he said. He went on to explain that delivering supplies to dugouts near the front line comes with deadly risks. 2 of our guys are already dead. One was wounded while bringing this food from point X to our positions, he said in Russian. That said, captured Chinese soldiers fighting alongside Moscow's troops voiced similar complaints about lacking supplies and having to pay out of pocket for basic necessities. In Kupiansk, Russian troops are using masquerade tactics, with sabotage reconnaissance groups donning civilian clothes to penetrate the city and collect intelligence or take photos with Russian flags. Major Yuri Fedorenko, commander of the 429th Achilles Separate Unmanned Systems Regiment, told news agency Ukrinform. As of now, the enemy controls none of Kupiansk's districts, Fedorenko said. However, there is a high presence of enemy sabotage reconnaissance groups operating under the masquerade tactic. The enemy dresses in civilian clothes and tries to infiltrate deep into the city. He explained that Russia's tactic serves several purposes, including allowing saboteurs to enter zones where Ukrainian defense forces are positioned to relay information on troop and equipment movements. The groups also aim to appear at symbolic locations in Kupiansk to unfurl Russian flags and take photos. After that, the enemy plans to create a news story claiming Russian forces have successes in advancing and capturing Kupiansk, the commander added. Ukrainian defense forces earlier released video from Kupiansk's center amid Russian claims of control over parts of the city. The 10th Army Corps of the Ukrainian Land Forces said Russians were massing near Radkivka and Holubivka. The gas pipeline was damaged and flooded. The enemy operates in small infantry groups, often in civilian clothes, committing war crimes in the process. Chief of the Russian Armed Forces General Staff Valery Gerasimov earlier claimed Russian soldiers nearly completely blockaded Kupiansk and liberated about half its territory. The BBC Russian service reported that none of the objective frontline maps confirmed the invasion forces captured any substantial territory in Kupiansk. Russian soldiers in Ukraine are having to drink from muddy puddles due to the ubiquitous presence of Ukrainian drones, making it impossible to reliably supply them with clean water. Overall, the water situation for soldiers on the front lines remains unchanged. They have to drink whatever they can find in the nearest forest. The logistics issue here is quite clear, and there's little that can be done to change it. More than 30 Russian airports faced regular airspace closures throughout the summer of 2025 due to the threat of Ukrainian drone strikes. Analysts from the Prometheus Center for Security Environment Studies, in collaboration with volunteers from Inform Napalm, prepared an infographic which illustrates the scale of disruptions in Russia's civil aviation. From June to August, airspace restrictions were announced almost daily in various regions of Russia, causing chaos in flight schedules. Passengers frequently complained about delays and cancellations of their flights. Ukrainian drones did not directly target civilian airports, but their activity forced the Russian authorities to shut down airport operations. This paralyzed air travel routes and put additional pressure on the transportation system. The greatest difficulties arose during the summer vacation period, when demand for airline tickets surged dramatically. For Russians, air travel traditionally remains one of the most convenient ways to travel within the country. Ukrainian drones did not directly target civilian airports, but their activity forced the Russian authorities to shut down airport operations. This paralyzed air travel routes and put additional pressure on the transportation system. The greatest difficulties arose during the summer vacation period, when demand for airline tickets surged dramatically. For Russians, air travel traditionally remains one of the most convenient ways to travel within the country. In fact, each launch of a Ukrainian drone triggered widespread airspace restrictions. Even without direct attacks on airports, Ukraine's tactics created a noticeable pressure effect. These incidents impacted not only passenger convenience but also the economy. Every flight delay resulted in financial losses for airlines and increased aircraft maintenance costs. According to analysts, more than 30 Russian airports experienced systematic disruptions. This has become a sign that the war has moved far beyond the front line, affecting the everyday lives of millions of Russians. In addition, such disruptions had a psychological impact. Passengers repeatedly found themselves in a state of uncertainty as familiar travel routes were upended by military actions. In this way, Ukrainian drone strikes are shaping a new reality for Russia's rear. Even in places untouched by explosions, there is a constant sense of danger and instability. Trump suggests Russian drones that crashed in Poland were likely disabled. They shouldn't have been there at all, he said. Asked if it was a mistake. I can't say. Let's hope they were taken down.
I'm disappointed. If you listen to some people, the ones like in Poland were shot down and they fell into Polish territory, but they shouldn't have been that close anyway. They were drones. And
do you think it was a mistake? The Polish prime minister said it was not a mistake, that they were intentionally into Polish territory.
I can't comment on whether it was a mistake or not. They shouldn't have been there, let's face it. But supposedly they were disabled. Yeah. They disable drones today. That's the great attack on a drone is disabling it, and they fall all over the place. So let's hope it was that. I mean, I'd like to think the better, but I'm very disappointed in that. I thought that would be the easiest of all of them to get done, and it turns out to be the most difficult.
I want to believe the best Ukrainian telegram channels report that the first photo of the Flamingo long-range cruise missile prototype has appeared online. Ukrainian missile maker Firepoint, known for the Flamingo, is now producing 50 units monthly and aims to scale to 7 per day by year's end. They're also developing a next-gen air defense system and supplying anti-spoofing software free of charge to other Ukrainian manufacturers. Their composite wing tech has slashed production time from 7 days to 2 hours, cutting costs without losing performance.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.